I almost said, "Hey guys, welcome back." I almost said, "Hey guys, welcome back."
We've had
Oh,
20 episodes so far.
oh my
This
God.
is just the first that you guys are hearing.
Oh my goodness. Hey guys, welcome to Song Theory, a podcast mainly talking about the world of music and the topics within. We're going to be covering a lot of our favorite artists, albums, songs, and genres. And today's episode is about rapper legend MF Doom. The hosts, me, myself, my name is Sam, and then Beta. Say hi, Beta.
My name is Beta, as Sam already said. Yeah, this podcast is just pretty much us geeking out about all things music. This is something that we've considered doing recently. We just kind of started getting this ball rolling, and here we are. And hopefully, we continue this journey for a while because we really want you guys to understand just how deep rooted our love for music is. And hopefully you guys will get some cool new interests in regards to like new songs you never heard before, new artists you never heard. And yeah, that's just kind of my goal. And that's one thing that brings me joy. I always like putting people onto new music.
Mm-hmm.
It warms my heart, you know. So there's a lot of songs out there I love that I would love for other people to know.
With that, I just want to introduce ourselves, talk about like what kind of music that we personally like and what instruments we play, and also a question to top off: if you were stuck on an island or if I were stuck on an island, what album would I bring to the island and why? So I'll go first, okay? My name's Sam, like I said before. Instruments I play: drums, mostly drums, and a little bit of guitar. And then what kind of music I like to listen to: soul music, a lot of alternative, indie, pop, rock stuff. In the last year or two or so, I've really expanded on my music taste. Because before that, I used to be very set and foundational, but now it's just very wide. I've really reached into like more 70s soul and R&B, um, a lot of jazz, especially in bossa nova, Brazilian jazz, and stuff like that. Lo-fi, which has been on the come up for a couple of years now. Um, my favorite artist, I'll just name one, but there's multiple. Probably Marvin Gaye, rest in peace. And then my
Go.
favorite band, the 1975, which I kind of grew up in around middle school, high school. But definitely my Marvin Gaye is probably my favorite. Which ties in to the question: if I was stuck on an island, which what album would I bring? Which is, I'm just gonna say, "Let's Get It On" by Marvin Gaye. I would just take it. I would, if I was stuck on an island, I would take that album because it's just a god heavenly album. I'm just like in awe of how he produced the album. It's crazy, and there's so many other um, musicians on there that are crazy. Like Paul Humphrey. I'm a drummer, so Paul Humphrey is one of the greatest like soul drummers of all time. He's on there. He actually drummed on "Let's Get It On." Just that whole atmosphere of that album is very soulful, very romantic, and it's just the theme of it is just sexy, if that's a word for it.
Facts. That's true.
If you would agree, yeah. So I would take that album, no doubt. So yeah, that's just a introduction of me. Um, Beta.
Oh man. How do I follow that? Um, all right. So for me personally, um, yeah, music has just like it's been there for me since for as long as I can remember. Um, for instruments I played the saxophone from third grade. It was from that time all the way up to my senior year of high school. And growing up, my dad, he is a huge music lover. And you grow up in a black family household, you're always going to hear music playing in the house, no matter what. Uh, Favorite artists of mine. I mean, the one artist I remember falling in love with as a kid, definitely Kanye.
Of course.
Yeah, I just remember being in like super young when like late registration, graduation, all those albums came out. Nas, um, Michael Jackson,
Mhm.
Pharrell Williams, Common, you know, Erica Badu, just so many. The list
Yeah.
is I could just do a whole episode on who I've been, who I loved growing up. For an album that I would take with me if I was stuck on an island, it would be Kanye, Late Registration.
Of course.
Now, the reason why I it was just it's such a kaleidoscope of an album in regards to hip hop,
Mhm.
because after College Dropout came out, Kanye was, on top. He was new artist, everything like that. Then Late Registration was just kind of like, this is me, like this is who I am.
Mhm.
I come from an era of, sampling, very refined, very fine tuned drums, these songs that almost just sound like color palettes. When you think
Wow.
of songs like We Major is like probably in my top 10 favorite songs of all time. Like first time I heard that song, I legit like almost cried. And to this day, whenever that song comes on, like I start choking up because like it's so good. And I just remember being young when I heard it and I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Just the production on that album was just so jazzy. It was very orchestra influenced. So many like hard knock drums on there.
Mhm.
And just the subject matters on all the songs like Touch the Sky, Drive Slow, Roses, Never Bring Me Down. It's just, man, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
one of my favorite albums ever. It's in my top five for sure.
That's a great album. So yeah, that's just like a little snippet of your hosts, Sam and Beta. But we're gonna transition over to the real topic of what this episode is about, which is MF Doom, the late MF Doom, who sadly passed away late last year on October. But it was announced 2 months after, and we just want to commemorate and just talk about his life and his legacy and his discography and just talk about him and his music that he produced for the rap game and for us as listeners.
I mean, for MF Doom, this guy he was just like such like a fictional character like figure. When I think of hip
Mm,
hop, I look at rap like it's like one big comic book story.
mm,
And just like a lot of these artists are just like they're real, but they kind of feel fictional to me in a
okay.
good way. Like I don't mean that like in a weird way or anything like that. But it's just like I mean, I've been listening to hip hop since I was like 6, 7. And I've just always been such a hardcore fan of the lifestyle of it, the art form, the artists that I loved listening to as I aged and grew older,
Hmm.
and just how much my taste has expanded. And when it comes to the underground scene of rap, the artists that aren't really mentioned in people's like favorite artists of today or just like back then. But Doom was just he was the king of the underground. He had a mystique aura to him. He
Yeah.
was like you couldn't really figure him out. but when you press play on whatever song he has, he was like a living masked villain comic book character. He just was super witty, eccentric, very rough around the edges, but like he had a rawness to him that just kind of like drew you in. Like you, it was just like it just sounded like super out of the box. It
Yes.
was crazy.
MF Doom, real name Daniel Dumele, born in London. Let's just talk about his beginnings. Um, Formed his first group, KMD, with his brother. Um,
Also known as causing much damage. That's what KMD stands for.
yes, sir. That was his first group. Uh,
Yeah.
First album in '91. Um, and then unfortunately, his brother passed away, killed in a car accident, I believe.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um,
DJ Sub Rock.
yes, rest in peace. But with that, it really well, first off, he took a hiatus from the
Yeah.
industry.
Yeah. He was going through a lot, obviously, and
Yes.
he it was after his brother passed. The group did another album. It was called Black Bastards,
Mhm.
and it was a very dark, like very gritty sounding album. And the
Mhm.
album cover itself, it was a black Sambo figure that was being lynched, and
Yes.
it kind of looked like some early like 1900s like minstrel type of stuff.
Mhm.
And they were signed to I forgot. Oh, they were signed to Elektra at the time.
Mm.
And when they finished that album that I mentioned, Black Bastards, they presented it, and the label was like, "Yeah, this ain't it. It's very dark. It's kind of not what we want the audiences to listen to. And yeah, if you guys don't make something else, then we're just gonna cut you." So they
Yeah.
obviously didn't want that, so they wanted to just keep making that album, but apparently they got cut from Elektra,
Mhm.
and then from there, Doom just kind of had a rough, like 2 to 3 year period.
Where he
But
was just,
yeah,
I read that he was just homeless, just wandering on the
he
street.
was he was like on the verge of homelessness. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure he was bed hopping or something like that. But yeah,
that's
it was
terrible.
a very tumultuous period in his life.
Yes, indeed. But I feel like also with, your record label cutting you and also, the death of his brother, it really pushed him to release Operation Doomsday, which was his debut solo album in
Yeah.
1999. So after all that, produced this really, really nice, raw album of Operation Doomsday.
Hmm.
And then he has a new moniker under the name of MF Doom. MF stands for Metal Fingers, Metal Face. There's more
Yeah.
probably.
Metal Face when he's rapping, and Metal Fingers when he's on the beats.
True.
You
That
know,
is the quote right there.
he basically, yeah, he produced the entire Doomsday album himself.
Yes.
Um, yeah, that album is so good. The samples he uses. Obviously, I'm just gonna start with Doomsday, the title track,
Yes, sir.
sampled Sade's "Kiss of Life" from her Love Deluxe album,
My goodness.
and yeah, exactly. My God, that that's the just that Sade song is a classic, R&B like throwback,
Mhm.
and the way the song kind of starts for Doom Song Doomsday, where he says like mic check, and then like the sample comes in.
Ugh.
Oh man,
And
yeah,
the record scratches. I don't something
yeah,
about myself, guys. I am in love with record scratches, just like a '90s raw sound like that. And it just had
yeah,
a lot of it in this one song, which was really, really catchy for me. I don't know. It sounded good.
yeah. And then there's like a female vocalist he had on there who sung the chorus of Kiss of Life. It wasn't actually Sade, it was like some other female vocalist. I forgot who it was. But yeah, that song is amazing, and just the way he incorporated that sample, and just like the way the song starts, he's like I used to cop a lot, but never cop no drop. Hold mics like ponytails tight and bob a lot. I'm just like, wait, how do you start out like that?
It really shows like
Yeah, and
his
then
style, man.
yeah, he had a very like off kiltered flow.
Hmm.
Like sometimes it would be on beat, and then sometimes he would just like drag it, but it wouldn't sound like it was messy. It was like it fit. Like it's kind of like you can't really explain it. There's just
Yeah,
some artists that like have that style where it's just very like kind of like goes over the tempo of the beat, but it worked
yeah,
beautifully for Doom, and
yeah,
his flow was just celebrated,
for
and
sure.
that song definitely shows as to why.
Mm. What are your thoughts on rhymes like dimes?
My thoughts on that song is that it's God tier. Like I said before on Doomsday, rhymes like dimes, another classic song, samples 100 ways, and I I actually tried remaking that instrumental a few days ago.
You did.
Yeah, you like it's just kind of hard remaking stuff. I love remaking instrumentals of classic songs, and I like try to like cut and paste like the specific part he sampled in the song, which was like that keyboard solo. And yeah, I love that track, and yeah, that song in particular is another huge favorite, and it's just another perfect example of his wittiness in his wordplay,
Yes.
and just how he was able to just throw all these different rhyme schemes together.
Hmm.
And one of the one of the lines on that song that stuck out to me was where he was like, classical slapstick rappers need chapstick. A lot of them sound like they in a talent show. So I give them something to remember like the Alamo.
Mm.
Oh man. When I heard that, I was like, damn. Oh,
I don't even know how he comes up with these. It's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So after Doomsday came out, it was just like the album was great underground wise. It was a success, and he kind of just started to build a little bit of a cult following with that project. And then what makes Doom even like more eccentric and out of this world, he just like created more characters for himself as an artist. You know, he had another character that he created, which was Victor Vaughn, which was kind of like so Doom is like MF Doom, that character that he made for himself, which is obviously his main persona, is just like this fictional masked villain who wants to like take over the world. And just the music itself just sounds like something a villain would make. And then his other persona, Victor Von, which I mentioned, was kind of is another character he made in that lore of, you know, this world that he created himself. Victor Vaughn's kind of like the younger version of Doom. It's like a separate version of Doom, but it's like looks up to Doom, but he just thinks that he can rap better than him.
Mm.
So the album that he dropped with Victor Vaughn in 2003 called Vaudeville Villain, it's just like it sounds like Doom, but this version of himself sounds very like aggressive. It's rapping on harder beats, all these like crazy chops. And Lick Upon, which is track number 3 on that album, is like disgusting. He raps over Isaac Hayes' Walk On By, which is a sample that's been used numerous times in hip hop.
Hmm.
And just the drums were so hard. And he just like, he bodied. He absolutely just like went in on that song. And just the way he kind of flowed was like super cool. And there's like a lot of crazy one liners on there too. And even like the beginning lines, he was like, confirmation of your worst fears ever since his first years had a thirst for beers. Back from the future, it'll make you more sober and brought back a long list of fakers who crossed over. And I'm like,
Damn.
oh my God. Just like his rap's like a tongue twister. It's
It
very,
is. It
very,
really
a
is.
lot of multi syllable rhyme schemes that just catch you off guard, and you're like, well, damn.
Yeah. And then right after Vaudeville Villain, King Ghidorah, 2003.
Yes,
Take Me to Your Leader.
King Ghidorah is based off of the Godzilla monster. I don't know if y'all are familiar with like the Godzilla universe, but yeah, there's Godzilla, and then there was King Ghidorah, who was like a three-headed like dragon, like serpent monster. And in Doom's like character version that he created of based off that one is still like the incarnation's like that monster, but he uses it as like a way of like controlling Doom and using him to like take over the world. So the
Hmm.
music on that album is like samples a lot of clips from those Godzilla movies, and it kind of like ties it into like each of the songs. And just the first song on that album, Phasers, oh man,
Yes.
violent sample goes crazy, crazy. Yeah, that was like just that first track alone. I was like, wow, bodied again.
His what I really liked about MF Doom is just like, I mean, besides that he's very private
Yeah.
or secretive, yeah, secretive with his
Mhm.
private life. I feel like in contrast to him creating these multiple personas, it kind of makes up for his, I guess, to describe it like his lack of publicity. It kind of like,
Yeah.
which is really cool because, sometimes mostly famous people or famous rappers are very, very
Yeah.
interactive with their fans. And I feel like because of his private life like that, with these personas, this is a way of him, in a way, being interactive with, MF Doom's fans like that.
Yeah.
Um, Same goes with like,
Gorillas.
yeah, something like
Oh,
Gorillas.
Damon Albarn.
Yes, something like
Yeah.
Gorillas, just like that. I feel like it also makes, like Beta said earlier, like such a mystique, which kind of draws people in, you know.
Yeah.
So his way of, um, I guess, sh- displaying himself to people and his fans is just very, very unique,
Yeah.
and it's not lacking. There's always something new and that you're not expecting. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. So with these releases, with his, multiple personas, I make it sound like he's crazy, but
No, this man
yeah,
he was just doing things his way.
yeah, which is
And
very unique. Yeah.
yeah, Doom didn't want to be famous. He just
Hmm.
wanted to let everyone know like I'm not popping like all these other cats are, but like no one can rap like me. Like I'm one of one. He just like was his own person, his own persona, his own genre, basically, within hip
I
hop.
I guess, yeah. His own and speaking of genres, I would say, that he was one of the forefathers of lo-fi, like with his beats.
Uh, I
Would you say
was,
that?
yeah, I mean, I would say Dilla
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
New. Do you know who New Jobbies is?
Mm,
Have
yes.
I have
Is he Japanese?
Yeah.
Yep, yep. I've seen one video or something.
Okay. Those two guys, Dilla and I'm not trying to discredit Doom. Doom definitely did have an influence as well,
Yeah.
but Dilla, like, yeah, him and Nujabes, they were. For those of you who don't know, I mean, Dilla is like one of the most revered, most
Hmm.
iconic musicians ever, not just hip hop, just period. And
Yes.
that's a subject for a whole episode itself.
Yeah.
But I mean, Dilla came up in that time with Doom as well, just that 2000s era
Yeah.
where they were just underground and just making all these great beats and songs that were
Did they
very heavily sample based songs.
Oh yeah. Did they ever collab? Doom and
Yeah.
Dilla?
Well, when Dilla was alive, I don't know if they did,
Oh yeah.
but in 2009, I know this is like later on, but
Yes.
when Dilla had his last solo album in 2009, I think he had two Dilla beats on there.
Imagine if there was an album where it was Doom, J Dilla, and Madlib. That'd been crazy.
So that's like that just sounds like God. I mean, Madlib did an album with Jay Dilla,
Yeah.
and then Madlib did an album with Doom, which we will get into.
Which is a good transition over to the holy grail of his discography and also, you know, rap albums of all time.
Ark
Mad,
of the Covenant.
yes, sir. Mad Villainy 2004.
Oh
Um,
man.
with Madlib. So we're going to be talking about this album primarily because, goddamn,
This
all
was
right?
this was this was this was the one.
Yeah,
The
it
one.
every rapper that you listen to has listened to this album, and has taken influence from it. You hear a lot of modern rap just like sampling his beats
Yeah.
and just being influenced by his sound. So yeah, Mad Villainy came out March 2004. Took about 2 years to make.
Yeah.
They were on and off. Madlib and um, MF Doom. They were on and off. There were just a lot of. There were various recording sessions for this throughout
Yeah.
the 2 years.
So basically how this companionship started,
Hmm,
you know, Madlib was making a name for himself in the underground at this time
yeah,
as a in producing and dropping beat tapes. I think the year prior to this, he dropped the Shades of Blue album, which came out in 2003.
oh, that's a good album.
Yeah, that's a great one. And I think that's when like the talks of them releasing music together. Because Doom was on one of the songs. He wasn't like he didn't have like a he did like a monologue.
Mhm.
It was on the song Stepping Into Tomorrow. I don't know if I ever played you that song before. But like in the beginning, like it's like this instrumental. Then Doom is like, "Yo, this is MF Doom, and I have no prior knowing of the man Madlib and something like that." It was like kind of like a jokingly like type of intro to like one of the songs on there,
Yeah.
but it just like showed that they had like formed a partnership
Yes.
that would become iconic.
But going back to the 2 years, during those 2 years, like I said, they were on and off.
Yeah,
There were various recording sessions. They recorded in which I read as Madlib's recording studio, but Madlib
yeah.
had a recording studio in LA, which was a bomb shelter, which he turned into a recording studio. Um,
That right there just goes to show.
yeah,
Like when you listen to the album, you're like, yeah, this sounds like it was recorded in like absolute like dusty like
yeah, yeah.
recording studio.
It's just this obscure location,
Yeah,
and a second recording session they had. This was mostly Madlib who produced
yeah,
everything.
yeah. He did that.
Um, but I think he was in Brazil at the time, and most of the beats that he made for this album was in his hotel room in Brazil.
Yeah,
So throughout,
there's a video of him from 2002 in Brazil, and he was like crate digging in like these
oh, that's
crazy.
crazy.
I'll send you the video later on, but it's like, yeah, it's just like the quality is like so like old school.
That's so
I
cool.
know. And yeah, he was just like crate digging and like shop like outdoor like markets for like records and stuff.
That's so cool.
Brazil records from like the 70s are crazy and they get sampled
Oh,
a lot in rap. Yeah.
oh yeah, for sure. Just so you guys know, me and Beta are huge record collectors. We've been collecting for years now, just around like our area. So whenever we hear about these like rare holy grail records, we're just really,
Yeah.
really in awe. So
That is
yeah,
facts.
we our dream is just probably to go, somewhere like
Exotic.
random, exotic, Brazil. I personally want to go to Japan because
Oh,
there's a
oh
lot of
my
records
God.
over there. Um,
That's a
but
fact.
that is true, yeah. Just finding records is just really, really fun, and it's, like, one of our hobbies that we both share.
Yeah.
Um And one of the songs that Madlib's produced in during his time in the hotel room in Brazil was Rhinestone Cowboy, which is the last song of Mad Villainy, which is a really, really good song to just top it off, a whole masterpiece. Personally, this is one of my favorite songs on the album. It just has a crazy beat on it and a great way to just to end the whole album. There's some lines on here that I just want to highlight that were crazy, that
Hmm.
were just like that showcase his wordplay.
Yeah.
Got more soul than a sock with a hole. Okay, digest that real quick. All right. First off, all right. First off,
Yeah. Yeah. Just that one line. It's like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
first off, guys.
Write that down. Write that down.
This here is a what you call a double entendre.
Yeah.
Got more soul than a sock with a hole.
For those of you that don't know, a double entendre is like a line that has like a double meaning to it. Like a word can like mean like two different things with like the word that follows it.
For me, this really stuck out because okay, let's just analyze it. Because got more soul, SOUL,
Yeah.
like your
Then like
soul,
sole of the like their foot. It's
SOLE, yes,
yeah.
like a sock with a hole. Because when your foot has it touches the sole of your shoe when your
Yeah.
sock has a hole. It's crazy.
Crazy. That's yeah.
That's just a genius at work right there.
Nasty. Nasty.
He also has two other songs that I want to highlight. Let's see. Curls. Curls was
Mm. Dog, that
Curls
beat.
it goes hard. Curls.
Oh man.
Curls,
Yeah.
ninth song on the album. Keep in mind, most of these songs on this album are around 2:30 on average. They're really short.
I
There's a
mean,
lot.
most of the songs are like, instrumentals,
Yes.
like a minute and a half, and like Doom will say like a few things,
Mhm.
and then the music itself will just speak for itself, basically.
Yeah, a lot of skits and
Yeah,
yes, which is really unique in his sound.
yeah.
Um, but in Curls, there's just this one line that really stuck out to me. Towards the end, he says, "Hands so fast he can outspin Flash." Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on, guys.
Yeah, man.
So let's just go with the shallow end here. So outspin Flash, like the Flash, the superhero, and we know
Yeah,
that MF Doom is very, very influenced by comics.
superheroes, all that, and
Super
villains, because he was a villain himself.
true. And in a deeper meaning, outspin Flash. He's also talking about Grandmaster Flash, a
Mhm.
legendary producer
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the 80s. What
Furious
was
Five, Grandmaster Flash, Furious Five.
Yep, that's his group. Um, which is I guess just a quick shout out to him, which is really cool.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Um, so just like that, just represents his like deep wordplay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was Curls. And then last song that I wanna um highlight is Great Day. Great Day,
Hmm.
which was the 21st song. So before Rhinestone Cowboy. So
Yeah.
second to last. Um this just really the line that I'm about to showcase is just very it just shows his like his rhyme scheme, which is really you just don't hear it, in modern rap or
No, no.
rap just before or during his time. He says the rocket scientist with the pocket wine list. Some even say he might need some psychiatrist. How do you
Crazy.
okay? How do you rhyme psychiatrist with wine list? I
Yeah,
don't know.
that the wineless part just like I laugh every time because of how creative it is and just like how I
Yeah.
would never imagine just putting those together.
Yeah, he puts okay, so wine list and psychiatrist, it's really cool because wine list is a phrase. It's two
Yeah.
words.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
psychiatrist is just one word. And how he just rhymes multiple syllables to like two words. I don't know. It's just very, very
Yeah.
unique and crazy that he thinks about these stuff.
Insane.
Um, but yeah, that was Great Day. But there are, two other songs, Beta. All caps, accordion.
Hmm. Mhm.
that, of course, were probably one of more popular songs on the album.
Mhm.
So, yeah, what do you think of, let's start with accordions, great, yeah.
Okay, so this, ladies and gentlemen, it's like the book of doom right here. If you want to get into doom, I remember one of my coworkers that I work with. Um, he was like asking me about doom because he wasn't really familiar with this music, and I
Oh,
like this was like the first song I sent to him,
mm.
and he was like, "Yeah, this is I can't believe I've never heard this before." But yeah, accordion is just like, yeah, it's a fan favorite. The
Yes,
beat, the accordion sample in the background, and just like how hard the kicks hit. And like they kind of sound like a little offbeat, but like it works beautifully.
yes,
And yeah, just the first verse. I mean, the whole song is one verse, it's a short song, but
yeah.
man, oh my goodness. Where do I even begin?
Uh,
Okay.
First
Uh
verse.
Yeah. Living off borrowed time, the clock ticks faster. That'd be the hour they knock the slick blaster.
Ugh.
Dick.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's just like there's no warning. He just goes in, you know?
Yeah, some of these songs that in his other albums too, he just, like, goes in,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah. And then like a little bit further in the verse, he's like villain, a mixture between both with a twist of liquor. Chase it with more beer, taste it like truth or dare. When we he have the mic, it's the place get like, oh yeah. It's like you know what's about to happen. Just keep your eye out, like I, Captain.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man. First time I heard that song, I think I was in like sixth grade, probably seventh
Oh
grade.
my goodness.
When I heard that bar, I just like choked on whatever I was drinking. I was like, what? Wait.
Last but not least, um, all caps.
Oh my god. He let it be known to everyone. All caps. Doom is not a man you can spell his name lowercase.
Yes.
It's all caps to let y'all
Mhm.
know he's the mass villain. Just the way the sample. I think he sampled like an old TV. I think Madlib sampled like a TV show
Mhm.
from like the 60s or 70s. It was like some crime show. First verse, so nasty that it's probably somewhat of a travesty. Having me, then he told the people you can call me your majesty.
Oh my
Keep your
god.
battery charged. You know it won't. Stick yo, and it's not his fault. You kick slow. Should have let your chick hold your sick glow.
Oh my
Just
goodness.
so many like multi-syllable rhymes just
Yeah,
in that bar.
we're
And
having
just like,
trouble
yeah.
with saying these lines because he's that good, and he says it
Yeah.
perfectly on the record, alright?
Yeah.
We're just talking,
Yeah.
it's really hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He's that good. Would this song be, like, his staple
Yeah. This is
overall
like,
in this
yeah,
album, I mean?
yeah, it's a, every legendary hip hop artist has that one song that just defines who they are.
Yeah.
And all caps is that's the one. But yeah, he's like the beat is so buttered, peep the slow cutter as
Mm.
he utter the calm flow. Don't talk about my mom's yo. Sometimes he rhyme quick, sometimes he rhyme slow, or vice versa. Whip up a slice of a nice verse pie, hit it on the first try. Villain, the worst guy. It's ugly. Like look at you. It's a damn shame. Just remember all caps when you spell
Spell the
the
man
man's
name.
name.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, so that album came out, and that album basically just made Doom a household name in the underground scene, just still keeping that cult following. And it was just growing, man. And so many young kids from that time period that ended up being rappers and artists today, Joey Badass, Tyler the Creator, Earl Sweatshirt. Earl Sweatshirt, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with him. Him and Tyler, the Odd Future, just that time period they came out, they were definitely influenced heavily
Yeah,
by this album.
definitely.
And yeah, he influenced a whole generation of hip hop heads who were just into that underground scene that he kind of just took to new heights. And a lot of producers too, like Flying Lotus, um, and even like Radiohead. I remember
Oh,
Tom York of Radiohead said that Mad Villainy was like an album he really liked.
wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know
yeah,
Tom York listened to rap.
yeah.
Good to know that.
And they also influenced artists like Joey Badass. Like I said, when Joey came out with 1999,
Yes.
he rapped. He had one of the song called Penny Royal, which samples a beat that Doom produced on one of Doom's beat tapes
Mm,
called Penny Royal. So him and his rap crew that he was in the pro era, they were like heavily influenced by Doom. So
yeah.
yeah, his influence just with this album alone, insane.
Yeah. And not a bad artist to be influenced by for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, that was the greatness that we call Mad Villainy. The album is crazy and had a huge legacy for upcoming new and future rappers. And then we transition over to Food, 2004.
or same
That's
year.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, Food.
yeah,
Yeah,
came out in November
what can you tell me about
of that year.
Food?
This whole album is basically you Doom using food references on every single song. Just every
Yeah,
title has food related is a food related word in it. Beef wrap, hoe cakes, one beer, uh filet wrapper, gumbo,
yes,
con queso, cookies.
cookies.
Yeah. And
Vomit
just
spit.
like yeah, I know. The one that made me laugh the most was poo putt platter. That was track 6. I think that one was an instrumental, but just like that title alone was funny.
Yeah, it is pretty
But
hilarious.
the first track on that album,
Yes, sir.
man, dog, let me tell you,
Mm,
just like it was insane. So it kind of starts out with like a bunch of skits in the beginning,
yeah.
but then when the verse comes in, he's like, I suggest you change your diet. It can lead to high blood pressure if you fry it, or
Oof.
even a stroke, heart attack, heart disease, and ain't no starting back once arteries start to squeeze.
Wait. Hold on, guys.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I
Hold
don't even know
on.
if y'all could keep up with that.
Hold on.
It's tongue twister. Heart disease, arteries start to squeeze. I'm
Wow.
like, mind blowing.
Yeah, and something about MF Doom, he doesn't really have a certain subject that he raps about, you
Yeah,
know? He just
facts.
raps about whatever the hell he wants, you know? Like this whole
Exactly.
album is just about food, you know?
Yep. And just using food as like metaphors for how he views the rap game at that moment in time in the mid
Yeah.
2000s. And just being creative with it. That's
Yes.
basically it. And yeah, that song was an insane opener. And another favorite song on here of mine is track 4, which is One Beer.
Oh my god.
It's produced by Madlib for this
Mhm.
song. I think this was the only song he produced on here. And everything else Doom did himself. The sample on this song, wow,
Guys,
insane.
yeah. What is it called? Cortex or
Cortex
something?
was the name of the band. It's a band
Yeah.
from France,
Oh my goodness.
70s.
So, like I said before, we're huge record nerds. So I looked up the sample, Cortex's album that has this sample, and if you guys are unfamiliar with Discogs, it's just like a record, like an eBay for records, you
Yeah,
know?
eBay for all things music,
Yeah.
vinyls, CDs, all that.
Yes, and obviously I'm not gonna get this because this is one of the rarest records of all
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
But I just looked it up just for the fun of it. But this Cortex album, which has this sample, are only 3 for sale on this website, and all 3 of them range from $800 to $1,000, guys. That's how rare this is. That's how,
Oh my god.
this is how royalty this
Yeah.
he made this song royalty, I guess. Like, if Madlib did not sample this album, I don't think anyone would have cared, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know. It came out in 1975. I wasn't born that time. I wasn't there in France,
Yeah.
but they definitely made it more popular than it It
Yeah,
was, for sure, to the point where it's $800 just for the lowest price. That is
yeah.
crazy, alright?
That yeah, that sample's been used a lot in hip hop. I
Mm,
think Wiz Khalifa used that sample, Cushion Orange Juice. And the way Doom rapped over this, it was just like Madlib looping the first like four bars of the sample.
yeah.
And yeah, so he kind of starts it off right off the bat. He's like, there's only one beer left. Rapper screaming all in our ears like we're deaf.
Mm,
Tempt me, do a number on the label, eat up all the MCs and drink them under the table.
mm.
Yeah, dude.
He came for their throats, man.
Yeah.
My
He
goodness.
was just like going off. Just that line, rapper screaming all in our ears like we're deaf. That time period, he was probably referring to like all the club bangers that were coming out of the South. And that mid 2000s period was such a huge transition because I remember that time a little bit and just like how huge crunk music was.
Mm,
You know, the South was kind of like taking over, and it was just a lot of like strip club bangers, you know, Lil
mm.
Jon, and Doom just kind of gave his feelings on that, screaming, rappers be screaming like we're deaf. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, Lil Jon is pretty loud.
Hey, bro, he had slaps.
He did, okay, yeah. But, MF Doom wasn't lying. Yeah. He was letting people know.
True,
Yeah.
but I mean, Lil Jon was pretty influential.
He was, yeah, he
Snap
was.
music during that time, he produced a lot of hits.
He
You know,
did.
Too
Yes.
Short, Blow the Whistle. He did that song. E40, Tell Me When You Go. Oh my god, yeah, that takes me back. But anyways, yeah, that song was just amazing.
So, yeah, I just wanna transition to another song on Food, which is, track 10, Con Carne, which is Spanish for "with meat." Um, he in this song, he samples yet another Sade song, so, like before in Doomsday, he sampled Sade's, um, Kiss of Life, and then on Con Carne, Is It a Crime, which is one of
First song on Sade's second album,
yes,
God
and
tier song.
yeah, I feel like it's very underrated. No one really talks about that song.
Yeah, whenever people talk about Sade, they talk about like Smooth Operator and
Yeah,
Sweetest Taboo.
not gonna lie, Smooth Operator is such a mom song. Like, yeah, every mom that who, like, grew up in the '80s knows Smooth Operator, and they, like,
Yeah,
love it. But Is It a Crime? The piano, if you guys listen to it, there's a piano in the background, and Sade has this, neo jazz soul vibe, and it just fits really well in MF Doom's rap style and his beat as well. Also, throughout the song, you could hear Sade sing just a tiny bit, and
yeah,
it cuts
no,
off. Yeah,
yeah. I
and it
love that.
cuts off, which is really, really cool. Also, to top it all off, Rap Snitch Kanish's
Oh man,
Beta. What do you have to
this
say?
is the greatest. This is one of the greatest instrumentals ever. He samples this crazy guitar loop from this artist named Dave Matthews. Not the Dave Matthews Band that a lot of you probably are thinking. This other guy named Dave Matthews, who was a multi instrumentalist from the 70s. And I forgot the name of the song that was sampled, but oh my God. It just, I don't know, like the song gives me such a euphoric, like it just kind of has like this victory lap kind of feel to it. And it just like, I'm always in a good mood every time I hear it. And like recently, I thought like when Doom passed, I was like, if he had like a song to like ascend to, it would be that instrumental. And yeah, that song in general, he just kind of talks about like how rappers like snitch on themselves whenever they like rap about certain type of stuff. Um, yeah, that record is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the first two lines, rap snitches telling all their business, sit in the court and be their own star witness.
Iconic line
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
It's just
There
so
was a,
catchy
there
too.
was a there was this news anchor that referenced that line. Have you
I
seen
I
it?
it was in the video that you sent me.
Yeah.
Hey, but at least he knows his stuff, man.
He's cultured.
Yeah, yeah, really funny. Um,
But yeah,
I
just like that whole song is like kind of on that subject matter. Yeah, sit in the court, be their own star witness. Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. Mess around, get the whole label sent up for years. Yeah,
oof,
it just kind of goes to show that he just rapped about whatever he was feeling.
yeah. He never really rapped what people wanted to hear, I guess,
No,
which was really
yeah,
nice.
exactly. He was his own entity, which a lot of other artists are. Not trying to like discredit them, but Doom was just like he was just different. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically it. You just have to listen to it for yourself to get the full picture.
Yes, and we will help you out with that because Beta actually formulated a whole playlist of MF Doom that
I constructed 27 of my favorite Doom songs, and a lot of the songs are the songs that we mentioned today in our podcast.
yes, and we will link that on our social, which we'll shout it out later.
Yeah.
But to help you guys out and learn and research about him. Yeah. Moving on from Food was his Danger Doom record 2005.
Yes, with producer Danger Mouse, who was
Yes.
getting a lot of buzz at this time. If you
He
guys don't know what Danger Mouse was, he was in he's a producer, does electronic, hip
mhm,
hop, alternative music. He was in a duo with CeeLo Green as Gnarls Barkley. You guys all know the song Crazy
of course.
from the Saint Elsewhere album. It's one of the most iconic songs of this century. But yeah, that's who Danger Mouse was. And him and Doom did an album together called Danger Doom.
Yes. This is my personal favorite album
Yeah.
of his. Just it's just very, very unique. One thing to note about this is he doesn't swear in this whole album.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't think he did.
I mean,
Yeah.
he bleeps out in one of the songs, but he doesn't like swear at all, which is really, really. I think that's really hard.
Yeah.
As a rapper, that's really hard
I
because
mean, there's,
yeah,
yeah, like Rakim is like one of the few rappers that never use profanity
yeah,
in his raps. He's the greatest ever. That, yeah, that's like a subject for another day. But yeah, there's just like a few instances where, oh, and Will Smith.
Oh,
Will
okay,
Smith, the GOAT, the
guys.
GOAT.
Of
Come on.
course. How can you forget about Will Smith?
That man did not use really any profanity at all.
Yeah.
That man made anthems. But yeah.
um, yes. I just wanted to point that out because I think that's just very difficult,
Oh
especially in the
yeah.
rap
Yeah, yeah,
culture.
yeah.
And he also made it very, very easy and catchy to listen to. It was made in alongside like it was produced with Adult Swim characters.
Yeah.
Uh, Also shows like Aqua Teen Hunger
Aqua Teen Hunger
Force,
Force, yeah.
Brack, the character Brack from Space Goes Coast to Coast,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the
Space
Brack
Coast
Show.
Coast to Coast. I love that title. I
It's a
just like
catchy
that
title.
that Hanna Barbera style cartoons. Yeah,
Yes,
kind of funny.
for sure. And then last but not least, Harvey Birdman, Antonia at Law. Just very, very cultural. This album is very cultural,
Yeah.
especially in Adult Swim, which I feel like it was big during that time. Not as big as it is now, most definitely.
I mean,
But
Adult Swim still. I mean,
yeah,
what I loved about Adult Swim is that they definitely promoted like this like subgenre of hip hop. Like
yes, for sure.
it was kind of cool. And
Yes.
yeah, like whenever I think of music on Adult Swim, I always think of Doom because every time I
Yeah.
watch it on Adult Swim, I'd always hear like, Raps Niches was definitely an instrumental I heard during
Mhm.
like those commercial breaks that they would have, where it shows like those like sentences on those black screens.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that just takes me back. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool.
nostalgic right there.
Yeah, but yeah, it was cool that he did that with those shows in that album.
Yes, it was really nice. It was a good collab. He
Yeah,
had really iconic songs on there. El Chupa Libre, Sofa King. CeeLo Green was in there in
yeah.
relation to Danger Mouse, of course.
Gnarls
Um,
Barkley, all that.
yes, sir. And
Yeah,
then so we gotta talk about Crosshairs on this album.
classic.
So It had a sample from 1971 or so. It was like some random jazz record, which was really crazy, really unique sounding. And in the beginning, where you hear that like little riff that kind of repeats, and then the beat just goes in. Sounds really nice and catchy. Two lines that really stood out to me was what he said in the beginning of the song. Pelican with some very soft mangoes, a closet full of skeletons and terry cloth kangles. So first off, how the hell do you rhyme
Nah,
mangoes
yeah,
and kangles, guys?
Kangles.
Two young bloods.
Yeah,
Kangles were hats that. Well, how would you describe?
Kangles are still a thing,
Yeah,
but like, yeah,
yeah,
they're like those golf hats
yes,
where there's like it's like around in the on the backside of it.
yeah. It
Yeah,
was definitely trending around the 2000s. And then, last but not least, Born Like This, 2009.
his last solo album.
Last solo album, yes. It had some, uh, it had J Dilla in it, which was beats that he created before his passing, I believe. Yes,
Yes, I believe so.
yes. And then he just like rapped
He
over it.
he did one song, uh, Gazillion Year, track
Yes,
two.
which was really cool. And he
Uh,
had, older guys like Raekwon, Ghostface Killer on it.
Goats.
Um, and then what was that?
Jake One has two beats on there too. He puts Seattle on the map. He's a legendary producer. He's worked with Doom. He's worked with Rick Ross, 50 Cent, Nipsey, Big Sean, a lot of people. De La
Wow.
Soul. Yeah. So Jake One did two beats on that album, on the
Mm,
Born Like This album. And yeah, he makes me proud to be from Seattle. And I aspire to meet him one day. He's super dope.
yes. There's just a lot of personnel on this album.
Yeah.
One song that we want to highlight is Angels on this album. What do you think of that song with
Yeah.
Ghostface Killer?
Ghostface, the man. Tony Starks, the man. Yeah.
Yes.
It's crazy because Ghostface and Doom were supposed to do an album together. It was rumored
Oh,
for a long time.
damn, and
Yeah.
they never did.
No, fortunately not. But the collabs that we did get from them, I'm blessed that we had those because,
Yeah.
yeah, those two definitely, their styles mesh with each other
Hmm.
very much. And yeah, that song Angels was nasty.
Yes. So it's a great beat, great lyricism. Go check
Yeah.
that album out,
And then another song, track number 14, it's called That's That. Yeah, I'm just gonna do the first like couple of bars
please.
because my God, this man just I don't know what happened when I heard this. He said, already woke, spared a joke, barely spoke, rarely smoke,
Mm.
stared at folks when properly provoked, mirror broke. Here, share a strawberry morning, gone, and more important, spawning, torn in, poor men sworn in, Cornish hens switching positions, auditioning, morticians saw it in the vision, ignoring prison. I'm like,
Wha-
wait.
There's so much going on.
Dude, yeah, he was
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'm gonna just rap a bunch of words.
Yeah.
It's gonna sound super coherent and just jaw dropping. And that's what he
Yeah.
did.
It's crazy. It's like reading like a Mad Lib.
Yeah,
There's just like
no
so
pun
much.
intended to
Yeah.
Madlib.
Did he produce this? Oh no, no.
No, no Doom did himself. The sample used was nasty too. It was like this violin sample.
Yes. Wait, was Mad Lib on this album? Oh yes.
Yeah, he was. I think he did one or two songs. But yeah, Jake one did like three, four songs. Dilla did like two. And then Madlib did one, and then Doom did the rest. So
This is an album that was isn't really talked as much too.
no, a lot of fans say it's not Doom's best album as a
Mm,
whole, but they say it's like has some of his best songs.
yeah.
So like the ones that we mentioned, like That's That and Angels and Yes Sir with Raekwon. Like it just has some of his best songs, but just like as a whole album, as one coherent listen, they say it isn't the best compared to Doomsday, Food, Mad Villainy.
Yeah.
But this album still gets the love here and there, but it's not as revered as Mad Villainy because that's just
No.
like the magnum opus right there.
Yeah, yeah, that's wow, that's a great word for it.
Yeah, come on.
Exactly. Um, so yeah, that is pretty much what the more significant parts of his discography for the late MF Doom.
He really just embodied the underground at the end of the day. You know, you have the mainstream sounds of what rap is, and then you have him who just stays true to like sampling, creating like a world in and out of itself with his
Yes.
characters. And yeah, his the listening experience of his projects are super amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
And yeah, there will never be another Doom.
No.
Never. No.
And one thing to add on the listening experience, his songs and albums don't it requires more than one listen for
No.
sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there's so much shit on it, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
And
then
it
you
depends on like if you're a listener looking for top tier lyricism, then
yeah.
yeah, you're gonna have to pay attention.
Yes.
You're gonna have to do your go on Rap Genius or whatever and
Mm,
just like figure out how he uses these similes and metaphors and double entendres on every single one of his songs.
for sure.
Doom passed away, you know, October 31st, 2020.
Mhm.
Found out about it like the whole world did through his wife. Yeah, he was married to her name was Jasmine.
Mhm.
I think he was married for like 18 years or so, and they had a son named Malachi who was born in 2003 or 2004, I believe. But sadly, his son passed away
Unfortunate.
4 years ago. I remember his Instagram account posted about that. I remember that. That was sad.
Mm.
But, you know, Doom keeping himself mysterious as always. You know, we had no idea that he passed on October
Yeah.
31st. And the fact that he died on Halloween just like goes to show just like how his persona and like his character of just like the mass villain passing away on a Halloween about
Yep.
like monsters and like characters and stuff like that. It's just I don't know, it's trippy. It's sad, but like the way like people have been expressing their thoughts on that has just been like kind of beautiful.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, his legacy is insane.
Yeah.
You know, he really impacted a lot of people, and yeah, his music is going to live forever.
Yes, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah, you know,
Gonna
he showed kids, fans of today, you know, it's okay to be weird.
yeah.
You know, you have weirdos in rap like Tyler, like Danny Brown, like all these eccentric characters, people that just like kind of share that love of doom, you know, rapping over insane, quirky beats with these luscious samples, but sometimes they're dark and gritty. The real fans of Doom will know just like how important he was. So it was just kind of cool talking about how impactful his music was
Definitely. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that is pretty much MF Doom's life and his legacy
and his art.
and his art. Yes. Before we close, I would want to just let you guys know about our socials and also the playlist that Beta made, which
Yes.
is all MF Doom songs and all the songs that we talked about. You could listen it to there
And more.
and more. There's some songs we didn't talk about. Um, but yeah, everything's there. Our Instagrams, mine is Sam Low with three S's, so SSSAMLO. Pretty simple. And just follow me there. I'll post stuff on my story, just like when our next episode is and what's upcoming. And Beta, what's your social on Instagram?
Instagram is at beta period Mengiste.
Okay.
Mengiste.
Yes.
And
Uh,
also follow me on SoundCloud as well. I know that's kind of cringy to say, but that's where I post some of my beats. I only have three things on there,
Yes.
but I'm very driven to post some more stuff soon. It's just Beta Mengiste. Um, I think it's linked on my Instagram in my bio, so you guys can check that out.
Yep.
And yeah, and then follow my playlist on Spotify and my account as well. My full name.
Beta. Yeah. Beta Mengeste as well.
Yes.
Yeah. And that is pretty much it. Next episode, we're going to be talking about just 50-year anniversary albums, which is going to be
Yeah,
pretty.
we got a lot of anniversaries this year.
Yes, sir.
50 year, 40, 30, dude.
Yeah.
Just we're going to be reviewing them, expressing our thoughts and opinions on them,
Yep.
what music was like during those time periods and where we were during those times, specifically like for the 10-year and like 5-year anniversaries, not the 50-year, but
Yeah. Yeah.
but just like for like the older albums, yeah, we'll just talk about our love for them and
Yes.
just like how they've impacted music heavily.
Yeah. And they're going to be good. We picked really
Yeah,
solid
we picked,
albums.
yeah. It was hard compiling a list for me, but
Yeah.
we've come up with a good one. So
Yes.
hopefully you guys will enjoy them.
So yeah, that's pretty much concludes this episode about MF Doom on song theory. I'm glad that you guys could tune in with us.
Thank you guys.
Yep, I appreciate the support.
And this is this is a journey that we hope to take far on this platform.
For sure.
And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this episode and future episodes that we'll do in the future. Thank
For
you.
sure. Yeah. Thank you guys.